So today we're going to take a look at C9 versus V1 on Ascent, and coming into the playoffs for NA qualifiers, I think that most people probably would have said that these two are the best two teams in NA, but ever since the playoffs started, they kind of haven't really played like that, and it kind of continued because I wasn't overly impressed, going back and kind of watching this game. I wasn't like particularly impressed with either team. Like there was some decent things going on, but I don't think, maybe it's just me, like it's still reliving the Fnatic versus Mech game, and so any other game in comparison is just terrible. But there was some good things in here as well, and I want to focus on C9 and particularly their defensive kind of discipline of sticking to what they think is right, because it really rewarded them, particularly on the defensive side on Ascent here, as we're about to see. And so let's dive straight into it, and we'll start with round number 4. And so as you can see by the map, we've got V1 on the attack here, exploring towards mid. They've got one player on sort of just defending the extremities as well. And they're going to make this push up mid. But something interesting is about to happen as well here with Effys, because Effys is about to drop the spike on the floor. Now, that's not something you often see in a pro game because it makes a sound cue. And a sound cue tells the opponents where you are, particularly in like a pushed up position like this, where you expect that someone really might be able to hear that. But I think that this is all part of the fake, because as you can see by the map, C9 ping, whereabouts the spike was dropped, and so they know as well. So then we get this drone up here, and as this fake is coming in, you can see we also get the Astro Wall across there as well. But we can see, of course, that this is actually an A hit. Now C9, unfortunately, they might think at this point, have 3 players on A. 3 players just were on A at that point already. They were already on over towards that side when this all went down. And so, they're kind of just stuck there. And now they have 2 options, right? They can either rotate towards B and try and, help out with the defense of B, or they can just stay where they are. And if it was me and you in our ranked games, I'm sure we would just charge over towards B. But C9 have that discipline, as I was mentioning before, and so they're going to stay A. But this is an important decision. I want you to tell you why it's the correct decision, pretty much no matter what. Even if this was a B hit, this is still the correct decision. And this is the reason why, is because these players are so far away that if all the V1 players were already in here and about to make this site execute, there's no way they can help their 2 teammates on this site. There is literally nothing they can do from this position either way, even if they did full sprint across the map. So there's nothing they can do. Even if this is a full B hit, they kind of just have to hope that their teammates, can make it like a 3v3 or something like that. And hope that they can, do their best to hold the site. And so either way, they should stay. Even if it is a full B execute, the correct decision is to stay because there's nothing they can do. And if it isn't a B execute and is a fake like it is, and they go off running towards this B site, well, then they're going to give up the site for free. But also, like, if this KO just ran out here, he's probably going to die for free as well. So not ideal. So the correct decision is to stay no matter what. But actually, it's not going to go great for them as V1 begin to make this execute. Leaf seeing him there probably, gave it away earlier than perhaps V1 wanted to. But it goes well for V1 no matter what, because they end up in a situation where they have, a 4v3. And it's going to continue to go pretty well for them as they get the spike down as well now. Obviously, in come the C9 players on the rotate. They trade 1 for 1 there, and we're in a 3v2. But then we're going to get Average Jonas going absolutely crazy because Zeta is about to hit a double shock dart that kills 2. Now, I highly doubt he was expecting 2 players to be there. Often there will be 1 player towards Gen, particularly because the spike is planted there as well. So it is quite useful to know maybe something like that because, generally, if the spike is going to be planted here, there will be 1 person, kind of in that area in general. But the fact he found 2 was just even sweeter. And then he's also able to win the clutch against Effys there as well at the end and win the round for C9. Now let's come to round number 11, where we're going to see that same discipline again and some pretty cool things here, because I thought that this shock dart initially killed this alarm bot there, but that was actually Mitch pulling it back, which means that they didn't get the destruction of the alarm bot, so they probably still think there's one in there, but Mitch now still has an alarm bot to play with, so that was just one little cool thing that I saw. But then we're going to see a bit of sloppiness here from V1, because what they're going to do is they're going to drone and they're going to smoke. The thing is, they know that Leaf has this up because he was using it last round and he won the round for C9 last round with it, so they know that this op is somewhere. They smoke him off here on short and they drone up this side of mid here. So basically on this map, you know, you're either going to be upping B main or the two sides of mid. Generally, that's kind of the most normal positions. But as you can see, as this goes forward, this Astra Smoke is about to fade, and we end up in this position on the map where, you know, they have made some progress. They still don't know where this op is. Of course, the drone didn't find it. And because they smoked this off, you know, as the drone was going up, they would have found that Leaf was here. And I'm sure that that was one of their sort of key goals to start this round, but they didn't find him. And then eventually, without this being smoked, for whatever reason, Effie's is about to just run out and basically give a free kill. There's the alarm bot reposition from Mitch. But yeah, there you go. Just dies, you know, just that lack of, again, that cohesive thought of we still don't know where the op is, and it could very easily be there. Gives a free kill to Leaf. But then as we run this forward again, what we're going to get is this pressure towards this A site here from the KO, and the Jet is about to join as well. And anytime you see a KO and a Jet, you know, you're probably thinking that's where this hit is going to be, because we're going to get the kill on Penny there from Zeppa, but eventually we're going to get a trade out here from Zelsis. But the problem is this, that it's actually going to be a B hit. But again, there's two players here just waiting who have not moved. And as I said, anytime you see a KO plus a Jet, you probably think that that's where it's going to go. But V1 try and fake them out again. But, you know, again, you can tell by this map here, Cloud9 did not move at all. And so as they go onto this site, they're going to be in trouble. And you can see the time is ticking down. And so at this point, the round is already kind of really against them, because they're going to have to kill both of these players to be successful here. And whilst Whippy is able to get the first one, he gets traded out. And now Zeta just has to live for the rest of the time, because Xander has to stick this plant. And he has to stick the plant on this side of the box because he knows that someone's in boathouse. And that does give Leaf the time to come in and help his teammate. And so they win the round basically just on time. And so now let's come to the very next round, round number 12. And again, it's going to be the same thing where V1 are running another fake, this time with the KO ult. They've got the Sova here for the dart as well to just sell it even more. They've got the Astra Stars down here. But you can see that the Spike and 3 players are actually over towards this A site, and that's where they're going to go. Now, C9 are playing a bit more of a retake setup on this A site because they have the Killjoy lockdown. So let's take a look at how that goes for them. And so they're going to use Zelsis here to try and sell this fake. He sends out a knife, he sends out a nade, he's going to flash, he's ulted as well. So you think like, oh, this has to be that. But actually, you take a look at where the C9 players are. There's still these two same players here in this position. And one little note I would give to V1 is, you know, I think it would be more effective potentially if, you know, I don't know if it's possible, but if Effie's could learn a lineup so that, you know, a dart goes onto B site from somewhere towards the back of A here, obviously that would help, because then you don't need him to be there to continue to sell this fake. But, you know, just a minor note there for them. But anyway, they do just go in here on this A site. But as you can see, Zeppa is more than ready for it. And then they send in the Killjoy lockdown as well on this A site. And because they didn't move, you know, there just isn't time to plant this spike here and not get detained. So you have to just run away as they are doing there. And, you know, that's going to stop any progress really towards that. One player also gets detained. But as we run this forward again, basically V1 just doubled down with the same idea, but this time, you know, without any smokes as well. So you can see that we've still got 3 players outside this A site, and we actually have the KO again just going back towards B. And again, he's just going to try and sort of sell a fake again because he ends up on this B site, and then he knifes, as you can see just there, and then he sends out a flash, but then he just dies to Zelsis instead. But really it was just, again, to try and fake for the rest of these players. But again, C9 didn't really move that much, and so they're going to end up winning this round pretty convincingly, as you're about to see. And I just thought that this was a good show of discipline by C9 overall. And then there you go, there's the final kill. And they end up 7-5 in the half. And had they not been as disciplined, they probably would have been punished pretty heavily by these fakes. But they just continued to stick with the plan that they had. So now let's come to round number 18. And this one is a very important round for C9 on the attacking side this time, because you can see by the amount of money that they have left, there is basically nothing. If they lose this round, they're going to have to go on a save. It probably ends up with V1 getting to 10 and feeling very good about the rest of the game. So this is a very important round for them. But they do have 3 very important ults here, and they're going to stack all 3 of them together to guarantee that they win this round. So as we run this forward, what we're going to end up with is a kind of similar thing from V1 here on this A site, where they're going to play a bit more of a retake, but passive here, because they have the Killjoy lockdown themselves, and they have an Astro Wall as well. So, you know, a retake here for them could be pretty good. But what we're going to get is this KO ult, and we're going to go in strong. Now, one thing we do have to keep our eye on is Vanity here, playing this little lurk spot. that is also going to guarantee them a kill. So here we go. The KO ult gets them a sight. As I mentioned, they're kind of playing a retake setup anyway, but as we watch the map here, what's going to happen, something is very important going to happen, because as the KO ult is just running out, we get this knife as well, which is going to catch the Killjoy, which means that Killjoy lockdown ult can't come back in. And then as we are watching what's going on the screen, Vanity is just going to, moments before disaster, kill Zelsis there, and so they're already a kill up. And now, obviously, that Killjoy can't use that lockdown, but because they hit that Killjoy in that spot, they know that, oh, that's what they wanted to do, and they predicted that's what they wanted to do. So they're going to Sova ult anyway here. I mean, they've got Leaf in this kind of pushed up position in this smoke. So they're kind of thinking when this smoke fades, Leaf could just die for free here anyway if there's multiple people there. So the Sova ult is also going to help Leaf as the smoke fades, you know, kind of swing and try and get some more pressure on these players if there are any people there, which there are, as you're about to see. There goes the Sova ult, and as you can see, it's causing a bit of chaos for them, and Penny is having to avoid it all, and Zeta's able to get two with that, and they send the Killjoy lockdown as well, and now it's round over, right? And this very important round that C9 had to win. You know, they used all three ults very well there, and you know, that KO utility again, stopping that sort of Killjoy lockdown from the defending side was very, very impactful indeed. And now let's come to the very last round, which was a bit of a crazy one, but it starts out with a bit of a mistake here from V1, as we're about to see, because Leaf is about to blow Xander's head off. And I don't really know what's going on with these two here, because Xander, as you could see, had pushed like quite far out, but Zelsis is already running away, and so it's like, you know, pick a lane, you know, do one or the other. And I do think Xander, now that V1 have a bit of time to kind of think about roles on the team, he does love a gunfight, and he is very good at, you know, just straight up aim duels with people. So I do wonder if maybe controller isn't his best role. But anyway, he gets his head blown off, and we end up in a 5v4. And now what C9 are going to do is basically just farm the ult orb for Mitch here, because he's two away, as you can see. And so he gets that one, and he's going to literally run across the other side of the map to get the other ult orb, which he's, you know, about to do now. And then he's going to ult. And the ult that he does is really cool, actually, because the thing is, when you ult down here, particularly in like a pro game, there are lineups for a KO or a Sova to bounce something off the wall and destroy this Killjoy lockdown. So this is probably something you'll see a lot more of, is what Mitch does here, because he jumps and ults, and it's able to go on this ledge, which will avoid any of that, which is really super duper cool, because obviously it's still in the same position, but it's just, you know, not going to be destroyed anytime soon, which is absolutely insanely cool. And that obviously is going to give them quite a bit of space onto the site, as we get, you know, the usual drone and all of that, and they flash Penny off there, and in they go. So that's all good. Now, whilst this is all going on and they've taken this A site, we need to keep an eye on the other side of the map, because Vanity is going to be an absolute rat here and come all the way behind. So yeah, they have the site for now. They're going to plant the spike down. And as I mentioned, Vanity, if we can even skip this forward ahead a bit, Vanity is going to come all the way behind, as you can see there, and he is going to really help them win this round. It's still a 5v4 up until this point, as this retake is about to come in. But yeah, Vanity is about to you know, really help them win the round, because he finds that kill on Penny for free. But then it's not going to go well for them, because they're going to end up losing a lot of these fights. And Zeta is going to end up in a 1v3, and he does insanely well here, because he finds the first kill, then he's going to ult Zelsis, and all Zelsis has to do is live for one, because Effie is trying to charge down the ult, and Zeta is able to get that final kill as well. Just absolutely big brain. I mean, unfortunate for Zelsis, because if he just lives through one of the beam pulses, like, you know, Effie's can just come and kill Zeta for free pretty much as he's ulting, so that wouldn't have been a problem. So unfortunate, I guess, in that sense, but C9 do manage to win the round, and I think overall they did deserve to win the series. They just were that bit more disciplined, I think, overall, and they go through to the next round, and we'll see, maybe they can make it to Iceland.